What's up, guys? It's David. Uh, gonna be doing a prediction for the rest of this half of Fear the Walking Dead, episodes 7 and 8. So Strand and Charlie crashed in the contaminated zone with their air balloon. And so Morgan is on his way to help them. He went into the contaminated zone. So we'll see if he actually does reach them this episode in 7. He may not get to them until the mid-season finale. It did show in the trailer for the episode that he kind of, goes into a house or kind of wanders off a bit. So maybe something may happen. There might be maybe other people we haven't come across yet that may stop him from reaching them. I think that would be a good build-up into a mid-season finale. Or possibly he might just be surrounded by walkers and not be able to get to them right away. Now, Strand and Charlie cannot actually touch the walkers because they're contaminated, so they'll have to, try and dodge them. And the trailers show that they kind of use the balloon to kind of use as a shield. So they'll probably do that, and it'll be interesting to see what else they do to get out. Then you have Grace that's trying to replace the generator. I feel like she might have something happen to her, to where when she talks on the walkie with Morgan, I feel like something may happen. Maybe that's why he goes, looking and goes into the house. Maybe she walkies him, and as he's going to get Strand and Charlie, he ends up changing his mind and going over to try and find her. So that could be something that may happen. Also, you have Alicia that's going to find the kids. She was going through the barrier, or just about to in the last episode. I think she definitely will get through it pretty easy. She's very good now with fighting walkers, and they're all tied up with their organs and stuff, so I think that wouldn't be a problem. But something has got to happen. I feel like this is the weakest part, our weakest story within the whole arc of the season. Bringing in kids could be cool if they did something like Beyond Thunderdome, Mad Max, or Lost Boys, or from Hook, or something, Lord of the Flies, something cool with the kids, But instead, it's just kind of, they're just there and haven't really done anything. I mean, the three main kids have had some development, but the others not at all, and they're just kind of standing there. So I'm hoping that they really do something to actually make us engaged with them. But I think Alicia will reach them, and there's got to be something else other than her just rescuing them. I'm hoping that there is. I'm thinking, some of the kids, something may happen with walkers or something to where some of the kids may die or get harmed in some way. It's getting close to the mid-season finale, so I'm thinking for sure that this next episode, something will happen. And it's probably building it up to where the mid-season finale, everyone's all together, but there is a chance that maybe they won't be, and they'll still be kind of separated and have their own kind of threats going on. And then you have Luciana, June, and Al trying to fix the plane. So actually, I'll go back on what I just said. This is the weakest. This is the craziest part of the story. Alicia finding the kids is frustrating, but this fixing the plane is laughable because, even if Al's a pilot, she's a journalist, is her job, and now she's an engineer as well. It just seems kind of crazy. But, you just kind of have to, accept it. That's just plot holes and, Hollywood for you. And then, super optimistic Luciana. And then June, she's grown on me a lot. June has probably grown on me the most the whole season. I feel like she's one of the strongest characters now. And I think by the end of season 5, I have a strong feeling if they keep it going with her being smart and the way she's been, she might end up being one of people's favorite characters. I feel like people were frustrated with her last season, and people, love John, so because of her being with John, they kind of associate them together. And I will say, personally, I think they're my favorite couple in the Walking Dead universe, even more so than Maggie and Glenn. I know that's a bold statement, it's still fresh, but I just feel like their dynamic is and their chemistry is stronger. I mean, I don't know. There's just something about them. I mean, don't get me wrong. Glenn and Maggie were great, but I just feel like, I don't know, the John and June dynamic of how they cover each other, like in the episode Humbug's Gulch. I thought that was great. And June's very capable of taking care of herself. I know Maggie is too, and she grew throughout the seasons. But I don't know. John's much more of a better fighter than Glenn was. I mean, Glenn wasn't bad, but I feel like John was definitely, because of his background and just he's got more skills. But even still, I just feel like even if they're not now the best couple, I feel like they have potential to grow to be the best. And that leaves the last story plot, which is my favorite, which is Dwight and John. And so they're looking for Sherry still. And the last thing that was interesting was John found a letter, and he basically lied to Dwight to protect him because he feels like Dwight will kill himself if he finds out the truth, because he's brought himself all the way from Virginia to find her, and following a note trail, or breadcrumb trail, essentially, and he has had no luck. I mean, he's just the farthest he's been, or closest he's been to finding her. So it would just ruin him if he read the note and saw that she doesn't want him to come looking for her, which I think doesn't really make sense, because it's like, if she really felt that he was on her trail and he was coming this far, why would she just abruptly say, okay, it's done, it's over, don't follow me anymore? So an interesting thing would be, people are saying that she'll end up dead, which is probably the most probable. But what if she has moved on? Maybe if she's with some other guy, And there's been no reports of casting her or her coming to the show, but maybe they've just kept it, tightly sealed to where no one would know. And maybe it will show her come back, and for like a 1-episode deal, and she's moved on, Maybe she just felt bad for Dwight, but at the same time, maybe this guy protected her, maybe she was with a guy that ended up protecting her or something, So that could be something, but the odds are she's probably dead. I feel like if it does show her, she'll either be dead or a walker. So that would be very hard on Dwight, to the point where he probably would want to kill himself. But I feel like something is going to happen to where he's going to feel like he needs to stay alive and help. I feel like he's going to need a purpose. He feels like he needs a purpose, and I feel like John's going to show him the way. I do predict that there will be some kind of confrontation. Dwight will find out John lied to him, and it will lead to some kind of confrontation. And in the end, I think Dwight will come around and, will let the Sherry mission go, and will just be part of the group. So that is what I do think will happen. I do feel like the mid-season finale, no one will die. None of the main characters. I feel like some of the kids may die, if not all of them. But none of our main characters. I do hope it shows more of Wendell and Sarah, because they are great characters, and I feel like they've kind of got the short end of the stick. And Daniel, I mean, all this promotion of Daniel, and we've only had him in 2 episodes. So I mean, it's a real shame. I know Ruben Blades is a busy actor, but he's one of my absolute favorites, from both shows. So I really hope that he comes back in the mid-season finale. It doesn't look like he'll be in the next episode, but at least in the mid-season finale. And definitely more in the second half of the season. Other than that, I don't feel like there's going to be any big villain showing up unless I was right about possibly Morgan being, caught off guard by some group in the contaminated area, but I doubt that actually now that I'm thinking about it. But there's got to be something. It can't just be him going to save Strand and Charlie and that's it, I mean, there's got to be something to bring in him and Grace with Strand and Charlie to bring them back. So we'll see how that pans out. And yeah, if there's anything you guys think or, feel like would happen or want to happen, then please leave a comment. And yeah, we can discuss it there. All right, guys, take care.